Yo, what's good, everyone? This is Kid DC Wrestling back at it again with another video. And today I'm here to bring you all your WWE Royal Rumble 2022 predictions. The Royal Rumble, as of this video, is a week. It's next Saturday. Honestly, man, looking at this card, for the most part, man, this Royal Rumble is shaping up to be a really, really good show. In my opinion, this could be one of the best shows that WWE's put out this year. And it's saying a lot considering that this is literally their second pay-per-view of this year. But let's not waste any time, man. Let's get to it. First things first, man, I actually want to start off before we get to the Royal Rumble and Championship matches. I want to start off with the mixed tag team match. Player, we got Edge and Beth Phoenix taking on the Miz and Maryse, or if you don't want to call them by that, you can just say the Grit couple taking on the It couple, and it kind of makes sense because they're in the Miz and Maryse calls themselves the It couple. Edge and Beth Phoenix are all about grit. So Edge and Miz, they've been feuding. Obviously, this ties into, I guess you could say, Maryse and Beth Phoenix feuding. Beth Phoenix, coming out of day one, going after Maryse, and now it leads to this. Who walks out of this match? I'm going to go out here and say I am predicting that Edge and Beth Phoenix wins this match. This might be the match that might open up the show, or might be the second or third match on the show, depending. But for the most part, I think this should be a pretty solid match. It's nice to see Beth Phoenix back, obviously. Maryse is Maryse. The Miz pretty good. Edge is pretty good. Well, Edge is really good. We all know how Edge is. So this should be a really good, solid mixed tag team match play. And most likely should be the culmination of the feud between Edge and the Miz. All right, next we move on to the championship matches. First, man, we got the Raw Women's Championship being defended as Becky Lynch defends her title against DoudDrop. Now, DoudDrop won the triple threat match between Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan, which means she has this opportunity to face Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble. So this should be really good, man. I think that this is a really good opportunity for DoudDrop. I mean, granted, she's not going to win. Becky, I said before and I said it again, Becky, in my opinion, will not be losing that championship up until WrestleMania time. So Becky Lynch, I think, is going to win this match, but this should be a really good match. It's two heels going at it, so they're going to do whatever they can to make sure they win. But in the end, big time Bex is going to come out, steal the Raw Women's Champion. Next, we have the WWE Championship match, the dream match that many fans have been waiting on for years and years. This is like some are saying 16 years in the making, something like that. Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. Man, am I very excited for this match. This match, I thought would never happen. Like I said, none of us thought would ever happen, and now it's finally happening. The dream match becomes a reality, and the Royal Rumble, it's going to be a reality. Hopefully we do get a Paul Heyman and MVP in-ring segment. I still want to see that happen. Hopefully we see that on the go-home show, as Brock and Bobby meet up. But, yeah, man, I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar, man. Brock Lesnar going to win the match. Now, Bobby's going to do whatever it takes to win. And it might look like for a split second that Bobby Lashley wins the match and becomes the WWE Champion once again. But in the end, Brock Lesnar's going to pick that man up, hit him with the F5. 1, 2, 3. Brock Lesnar retains the WWE Championship. Now we get the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns defending the championship against Seth Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins. This has a lot of history. Both men are no stranger to one another. They were in the Shield. They actually fought against one another, literally, at Money in the Bank. What was it, 2016, when Rollins beat him for the title. Speaking of Rollins came in the main event of WrestleMania 31, cashed in and won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. These men have history with each other. And I know a lot of people are like, well, why is this match so special? Why is it special if we've seen this match already? Well, granted, we've seen them wrestle before, but we've never seen them wrestle in this style. Roman Reigns is at the prime of his career right now. Roman Reigns is the head of the table. He is the tribal chief, taking on the Drip God, Seth freaking Rollins, who was in this, like I said, this Drip God, this crazy maniac, mentality for the greater good. These are two distinct guys who have yet met, but have changed themselves over the past few years to get to the level they are now. It's shaped up to be a really good match, man. And usually when it comes to a lot of Roman Reigns matches, as great as they are, they can be kind of predictable because Roman Reigns is gonna win. But with this match, it's really interesting, man, because it really is anyone's ball game, because you can have Roman Reigns win, and then you do the rumored match between him and Brock Lesnar for the title unification match at WrestleMania. But then again, that leaves open on what does the man of the Royal Rumble does. Or you have Rollins wins, Rollins takes the Universal Championship, goes back to Raw, Brock gets Roman on SmackDown, and Roman takes the WWE title away from Brock at WrestleMania. So what do you do in those scenarios? Well, I'm going to go out here and say that I actually am going to go with Roman Reigns retaining the Universal Championship, and I'll explain why. The reason why I feel like Roman Reigns should retain the Universal Champ, because as great as Seth Rollins is, I feel like with someone like Roman Reigns, whoever beats him have to really get established as a star in the company. And as great as Seth Rollins is, and like I said, this is really anyone's ball game, but if I had to predict here, I think Roman Reigns is going to retain his championship. Now, if Rollins wins, it's going to be a little shocker, but I'm going to go with Roman Reigns, man, retaining his Universal Championship. Next, we have the Women's Royal Rumble match. One of the biggest caveats of this, man, we're going to be seeing former, I guess you could say future Hall of Famer, Impact Knockouts Women's World Champ, Mickie James, and obviously this is really the first time the WWE is openly acknowledging not just another champion from another company, but Impact Wrestling. I mean, granted, you had that one time where Kurt Angle name dropped TNA, but you know what I mean? This is really big. This got what many people are saying, opening the forbidden door. Now, you're obviously having other caveats in this match. You're going to have Summer Rae coming back. You're going to have, Lita coming back. And speaking of all these, big-time returns, stuff like that, you know what would have been cooler if WWE didn't really, announce that these were happening? I grant you were excited and wanted to get the news out, but Royal Rumble is about surprises, and I think it would have been better if Mickie James came out surprised. Everybody, oh my God, I didn't know this was happening, rather than, let's just announce and then shock the world there. But who wins? Who wins the Women's Royal Rumble match? You're obviously going to have Charlotte Flair in the match as well. It's probably going to come down to the final three: Charlotte Flair, Liv Morgan, and Bianca, and the match being won by Bianca Belair. Yes, I am predicting that Bianca Belair wins the Women's Royal Rumble match once again for the second straight year in a row. You have her big time Becky Lynch running back at WrestleMania. The story writes itself, SummerSlam, with Becky pretty much, she pretty much did squash Bianca Belair at SummerSlam, beating her in 26 seconds. You run that story back, and you have Bianca get that moment once again, but this time beating Becky Lynch in WrestleMania 38. It's not going to main event WrestleMania 38, but it'll surely be a great moment for what many people believe at SummerSlam 2021 being Bianca Belair's lowest moment, and what many people saying that she got buried that night. Now, what will probably most likely be the main event, 30-man men's Royal Rumble match. Obviously, one of the caveats in this, Johnny Knoxville's in it, but let's be real. Johnny Knoxville, he ain't going to win the Rumble. Now, with this Royal Rumble match, and I think this was great about the Royal Rumble with this year in particular, that it's kind of unpredictable for the most part. Again, it really comes down to what they're going to do with Brock and Roman, because, again, if Roman, or maybe, if Roman loses the title, maybe he wins the Rumble, challenges Brock. But if you do the title unification match between Lesnar and Reigns, which I really do feel like they're going to do that, where does that leave the men's Royal Rumble winner? Well, he obviously can't challenge for the World Championship, but what he can do, he can challenge for the NXT Championship. We've seen it with, Charlotte when she won the Rumble. She didn't pick Raw or SmackDown. She went down NXT. Granted, she didn't need NXT, but she went down there to NXT. We saw Edge last year when he won the Royal Rumble. He wouldn't, well, we knew he wasn't going to choose NXT, but still he went down there and was like, hey, I'm keeping my eye out. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, this is what you do. You have, I'm going to predict here, well, two people. If they're doing the title unification match, have AJ Styles win the Rumble, have him challenge Braun Breaker for the NXT Championship, because not only does this give more eyes on Braun Breaker, but this gives more eyes on NXT, 2.0. I don't know if you guys been hearing the news lately, but I guess officials have been disappointed in NXT 2.0. And this is, I guess, with this, having this match at WrestleMania, having the NXT champion, the NXT title being defended, and successfully retaining that title on the biggest stage at WrestleMania, I think it could bring some eyes and really get even more people invested in the Braun Breaker and maybe even NXT 2.0. But that's only if they do the title unification match. If you're not doing the title unification match, then you'll probably have Big E win the Rumble then, and then he challenges most likely Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. So I'm predicting either AJ Styles or Big E. It's going to come down to one of those two men. One of those two men, in my opinion, will win the men's Royal Rumble match. And that is my, my Royal Rumble predictions. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, man, very excited for Royal Rumble. I really think this can be a really great, enjoyable show. And I'm really curious to seeing on what they're going to do that night. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to subscribe to the channel. This has been the Kid DC Wrestling. So, yeah.